Vinnie Caroselli. Fresh out of the water, jam-packed in a wooden bucket too small for the load, lie a cast of crabs anticipating their demise. Atop the pile awaits one crab in particular, planning an escape to ensure its safety. In an attempt to escape, this crab's efforts are quickly undermined by the others in the bucket, confirming the fatality of them all. The unfortunate experience of this crab is similar to the ones I encountered during my upbringing. I grew up in Upland, Pennsylvania, a small borough south of Philadelphia where more than 20% of the population falls below the poverty line, including my family. Growing up in this situation allowed me to quickly come to the harsh realization that not much opportunity presented itself within the walls of Upland, so I knew I needed to find a way out. Since kindergarten, I always saw education as a major key to success. Thus, going to college was always my dream. Like the crabs that pulled down their fellow crustacean, I perceived members of my community as antagonists to my escape from the bucket that was Upland. While in public school, I constructed the mentality that I should be destined for more. That is when a friend of mine named Tasia Rice introduced me to the Milton Hershey School. I knew in that moment that this was my way out. I learned that this tuition-free boarding school allowed students to earn upwards to $80,000 in college scholarship money and became immediately hooked, but others, not so much. Although the benefits of this school seemed to be something pulled out of a fairy tale, there were people in my life that I recognized as not wanting me to achieve this happily ever after. Just like crabs, humans tend to reduce the chance of success, self-confidence, and splendor of others who are capable of achievement simply out of ignorance, envy, and spite. This pattern of behavior is referred to and coined by Filipina feminist Natasha Raska as the crab basket mentality. Yet rather than falling victim to the crab basket mentality, I outlasted the doubters and stand before you today, a proud graduate of the Milton Hershey School and a first-generation college student. To get where I am, I had to embody grit. Grit is defined by psychologist Angela Duckworth as the combination of perseverance and passion for a long-term goal. While Duckworth's definition does resonate with my experiences, I argue that it is much more. Grit is not just having perseverance and passion. It is having the capability to let go, to accept help from others, and above all, to name your needs. I believe in grit and its power to help us through the challenging transitions in life. Being trapped in this bucket defines the crab's shared experiences. Although collective demise is not a common description we would equate with community, the crabs in this case are unified because of that. To escape the bucket, a crab would have to let go a part of their community and identity, losing a part of themselves in order to achieve success. To escape the basket in my life, I too had to learn to let go and lose a part of my identity so that I could shape my future for the better. I didn't have to lose a limb in order to stand before you all today, but the emotional turmoil that I experienced while escaping my crab basket took toll on me. Having to let go of family members, memories, and my home took grit. But without letting go and losing a sense of myself, I can't imagine what the future would have looked like for me. Embodying grit does not stop at letting go. It extends into having the capability to accept help from others. In the jam-packed basket, crabs grab at one another, seeing who can get the upper claw in order to escape. This king of the hill competition ends poorly for some, but for others opens up an opportunity to succeed. By maneuvering throughout the basket, a crab may unknowingly be lifted up. Rather than questioning this assisted path to freedom, this crab accepts the opportunity and ultimately ensures its safety. Similarly, I had to accept the help from others so that I could guarantee the achievement of my goals. Unlike the crab in the basket, the help I was offered was purposeful, which is why it took grit to accept the boost others were willing to give me, especially when I knew it was at their own expense. More times than not, people let pride getting in the way of accepting the help of others. Garrett Kaiser in Help, the Original Human Dilemma, states that there is a tendency to act as if it is a deficiency. There is an understandable fear that if you let your guard down, you'll get hurt, or that the information you don't know will be used against you. It is a vulnerable experience to realize that you need help. But rather than feeling weak, needy, or incompetent, grit helps us feel gratitude and helps us pay it forward in the future. Accepting the help of the Milton Hershey School was a life-altering decision for me and helped me escape my crab basket. So far, we have discussed how grit is about letting go and about accepting help. It is now time to explain the most difficult characteristic of grit, naming your needs. When the crabs are crowded in a basket and one is on its journey to escape, there is a chance that it may take part of another crab with them. This time, the freed crab is not losing a part of itself, but pulling away from others, risking the chance of detaching someone else's claw for the purposes of its own advantages. Although this moment can be perceived as selfish, this crab named its needs and took its shot at escaping to ensure its safety. Just like that crab, I too have had moments of perceived selfishness through my journey, but have persevered through those thoughts thanks to grit. My sisters Brandy and Melanie are two of the most hardworking, independent women who I look up to every day, but they weren't offered the same opportunities as me. They didn't have a Milton Hershey School opportunity or a first-generation college student experience, and because I looked up to them, I always thought that if they didn't have the chance to do all these things, why should I? But I had to risk escaping my crab basket. That is when it came time to manage my guilt, to name my needs, to ultimately exhibit grit. I took the generosity of my sisters with me, and I'm forever grateful for what they have done and do all I do in honor of them. My story is one about escaping poverty to become a first-generation college student. Maybe yours is about creating equal opportunity for all the races, empowering women to reach their full potential, or fighting for the love we all deserve. No matter what your story is, we've all accepted the embodiment of grit by coming to Juniata. In the Principles of a Liberal Arts Lifestyle, Juniata College states that a successful life embodies a spirit of sustainability. That takes grit. Rooted in this community is an unceasing, unrelenting, grit-filled mentality that is ever present in all we do. Events like Who's Your Neighbor allow speakers to reflect on their experiences, challenge students to think about who they are, and then motivate students to use those experiences as instruments to pursue something they are passionate about. Open Mic Night, sponsored by It's On Us and The Spot, embrace the vulnerability of students by allowing them to share their grit-filled journey through interpersonal violence. But best of all, it is the mere daily interactions that show how gritty we truly are. Conversations in the dorm, walks in the hallway, and meals at Baker are filled with stories of grit. Whether big or small, these are stories of tribulation in which grit helped you transition to a better point in your life. Are you feeling trapped? Let go. Are you feeling trapped? Accept help. Are you feeling trapped? Name your needs. And by doing all of this, I hope that you too can believe in grit and its power to help us through our challenging transitions in life.